Save to clear to pass and shot. You can't draw it up any better than that.
And that's what Coach Tillman wanted when we spoke to him earlier in the week. He wanted the transition game. That's what this team is built for.
Off the faceoff, Brian Farrell had it but couldn't hold it. Now another hit put on at midfield. Good physical action. But Chris LaPierre able to hold on and bring it in for Virginia. So the Cavaliers now being doubled up at home, 10-5, and they've got to get to work right away. Here's a rebound in front of the score. Ball went off the pipe. Amato was not able to gather in the rebound, and it came free.
The only way you're beating the freshman today is rebounds, quick ball movement, getting the ball to spin. See breaks here. Amato makes that save with his forearm, and Bocklet just picks up the trash. Look at the save.
Arm
right
save.
Off the forearm.
Look at that. And then Bocklet there.
Mentioned Bocklet's been quiet. Cashes that one in. 53 goals a season ago. Second in Virginia history behind Doug Knight, the great All-American attackman who graduated in '97. So you have that Bocklet-Stanwyck combo. If Virginia's going to make a run, those attackmen need to get involved.
That was Virginia's first goal in over 25 minutes. That's got to be one of the longest scoreless streaks you will see from a Virginia team. Now over, and plenty of time left here. Just under 10 minutes. Down 4 at home. Far from insurmountable for Virginia. But they're going to need the ball, and Maryland has it right now. This is Joe Cummings, he of the 4 goals today.
You know, if anyone can come back and respond to a 4-goal deficit, it's the Cavaliers at home. 9 minutes left. You look at Maryland controlling the ball in the 6-on-6 set. You have to be careful, too, if you're Maryland, not to get caught up in that whole stall tactic. You're flowing, you're hitting on all cylinders. Be patient.
There's a beautiful pass and a score. John Haws was on the doorstep. The officials waited just a second to confirm that he was not in the crease. But the pass found Haws, and it's back to a 5-goal Maryland lead.
3 goals for the sophomore midfielder, and right on cue. I was mentioning, be careful not to stall, be patient, but if opportunities arise, keep playing lacrosse. You're feeling it if you're Maryland. Ryan Young, his 5th assist on the day. Look at the feed. That's a crazy feed. I mean, in traffic, pressure. Here's the tail end on the backside. Haas, the great crease awareness.
Tell you what, you're not going to see a better look than that look from Ryan Young. Across field, John Haws just slipped away, and the vision of Young to see him there and just put it right on his stick, and then the great finish by Haws.
What a feed. Ryan Young, you haven't seen him hit the back of the net much, but his passing ability to get teammates involved, he's been the catalyst, because all those inside goals are a result of the perfect setup plays by Ryan Young, 27 in red.
So Maryland putting an end to any thoughts Virginia might have had of putting together a multi-goal run here. They bounce right back after Virginia's 6th goal. And then get a face-off win to boot.
I think if you were to ask Maryland if Grant Catalino is to really be blanketed all afternoon and not being involved in the offense, would you be up by 5 goals? It's a direct result of other players stepping up, playing huge roles in the team game. So many unassisted or assisted goals, for that matter, by Maryland. Weren't a lot of dodges and players creating their own offense to score goals. It's been a team game, a lot of passing.
Maryland in no rush here, up 5.
I think if you're Virginia, get aggressive on defense. You have to start pressing out. Down 5 goals, take some chances, double the ball quickly. Press on the perimeter.
We mentioned Catalino, he's been quiet today. And Ryan Young will take a screen and find Scott LaRue. LaRue, guy you see play both ways. Maryland looking for their first ACC win of the year. They're 0-2 in the conference. Lost at Duke and then at home to North Carolina. So this would be a big win, the best win of the year for this Maryland team. Their only other win over a ranked opponent was against Georgetown early in the year.
And it makes you think, was that UNC game a direct reflection of what we're seeing today? A team that really was questioned and backs were against the wall, and they responded. I think it shows you this team is capable to come on the road and to be up by 5 goals against a team like Virginia's caliber. Tells you this team can compete against anyone.
And I don't think anybody questioned that coming into this year. The talent that has been assembled in this program by Dave Cottle over many years and the several recruiting classes that John Tillman had to work with coming in. I mean, you gotta love that position for John Tillman. Coming in, the cupboard could not have been more stacked for a first-year head coach. Question is, could he get them to harness all of that talent? And this is the point in the year where you really want to start seeing that improvement as we get into the latter stages of the regular season, and then the ACC tournament will be here before you know it.
I said it earlier in the season on our expert show on ESPNU. No coach in college lacrosse in their first year has more talent to work with. The flip side of that is, if you're John Tillman, the expectations are pretty high. You have to win now.
Maryland has run 4 minutes off the clock in this possession. And by the way, you see that stat there. Talk about a big win. They've lost 9 of their last 10, has Maryland, to Virginia, including 5 in a row. So this would break a streak of futility against Virginia. And after that long possession by Maryland, finally Virginia able to force the turnover, but time suddenly looks a lot shorter. Just over 4 minutes to go, down 5. Virginia's going to have to get to work fast. Meanwhile, we get some rain starting here. All of a sudden, some dark clouds rolled in. And now the rain starting up as Nico Amato makes the save on the low shot. Rebound battled for, and Amato picks it up, and the crowd just flooding for cover here at Scott Stadium as the rain comes in.
The best goaltending performance I've seen to date. It's his 12th save. Not a ridiculous number, but it's the way that he's made these saves, the type of saves he's made.
So many point-blank saves by Amato. He's got 12 saves on the day. Maryland quickly knocking Bocklet down as that ball came in front.
Had the opportunity to speak to some goaltenders, some great ones from the past. Rob Mulligan from Syracuse, 2000 national title holder, 3-time All-American. Asked him about Nico Amato and what he loved about him. It's his poise, his ability to start transition.
Here's a chance, fed for Young, and he scores! Ryan Young makes it a dozen for Maryland, and the Terrapins look like a winner on the road. It's 12-6.
Finally, Ryan Young gets a tally of his own after completely hooking up all of his teammates time and time again. You see him pumping his fists. He knows as a senior to come down to Charlottesville and win this magnitude. Up 6 goals, they're feeling it too. The Terps on their way to a huge victory.
Great to see Ryan Young, after the rough week he had last week, called for an illegal stick in the game against North Carolina. A 3-minute unreleasable penalty that Carolina scored 1 goal off of, but that really was the turning point of the game that led to Carolina scoring 8 straight goals. And Ryan Young, a lot going on in that young man's life. His mother suffering from terminal cancer, pancreatic cancer. So he's had a lot on his mind other than lacrosse. And after the tough week last week, it's great to see Ryan Young have a bounce-back game and get a goal here in the late stages. As this rain, by the way, is coming absolutely furiously here. The stadium basically emptying, and we get a timeout. More than just rain, you got some snow, hail mixed into this weather coming down. But with 2:15 to go and a timeout, this Maryland team, they don't care what's coming out of the sky. They're going back to College Park with a win. There you see the hail pellets on the field. We will take a break. 2:15 to go, and what's suddenly become a maelstrom here, but not for Maryland, as the Terrapins have had their best performance of the year on the road here. The offense and the goaltending have all gotten it done for the Terrapins, picking up their first ACC win of the year. We got 2:15 to go. Come on back. Summary here, and that tells you everything you need to know. Look at the third and fourth quarters of this game. 8-1. Maryland has outscored Virginia in the second half. Joe Cummings, 4 goals, tying a career high. And everything going Maryland's way here. The weather took a rather sudden turn in the last 5 minutes. Some hail and all sorts of mixed precipitation coming down. A little cold front came through here and just cleared the stadium out. But John Tillman, he doesn't really mind. His coach, his team feeling great. Joe Cummings going to get on the bus and go back to College Park with their first ACC win of the year.
And you saw the stands empty. This place was packed. Beautiful setting for college lacrosse. Outstanding weather. This hail came in. Everyone they left the building.
A shot going high and wide here over Amato. Keep in mind the spring football game is going to take place on this field about 30 minutes after this lacrosse game ends. We get flags flying on the field. And now let's take a look at our player of the game in just a minute. We'll get you there. I can give you a sneak preview. I think it may be number 19, our player of the game, but we don't want to give it away. There he is, Joe Cummings, number 19, our player of the game. Brought to you by Maverick, by the way. 4 goals, tying a career high. And he not only did he score 4 goals, Paul, but he scored them at a key point in this game. Into the third quarter, Maryland came out at halftime down by a goal, and it was really Joe Cummings who keyed this second half run.
And he did it in a variety of ways. Off ball, dodging from behind. We saw the sweep from up top.
And Virginia scores here late. They finally beat Amato in this second half. Shot from the far wing beats Amato. It's 12-7.
This is Chris Bocklett's spot. You just didn't see a lot of it today. Great on the extra man on that right side. Leads the team in goals. But they were 0 for 4 on man up today because of the fact that they weren't able to spin the ball and get the rotation in the ball movement to guys like Bocklett. But they were very inefficient on the extra man today.
A very quiet 2 goals scored by Chris Bocklett. Both of them really, once this game was just about out of reach for Virginia. Face-off picked up by Bray Malphus. Throws it downfield, out of bounds. Maryland will get it as we come up on 1 minute to go. So Virginia, they'll suffer their second straight loss. They lost a close one in Baltimore last week to Johns Hopkins, and now they drop one at home. And Paul, if you're Dom Starsia, how concerned are you about this team coming off 2 straight losses at this point in the year?
Very, to be honest with you. Last week, not too concerned, but now the suspension of Shamel Bratton. It's more just the mindset, the approach, and how you're going to respond mentally to this defeat. Not physically. You have the players out there to win a national title and make a run, but I think you have to get your team on the same page, and they have to buy in together.
Not a good day for Virginia lacrosse. They played without their star midfielder, Shamel Bratton, who is suspended by Coach Starsia. He missed the game, and they just did not have enough, either offensive firepower or, frankly, defensive cohesiveness either, because Maryland was able to do an awful lot right in front of Adam Gittleman today. And those are the reasons why they are going to come away with this ACC win on the road.
Maryland found a weakness in the Virginia defense. They exploited it, and it was a team game by the Terps on both ends, and incredible goaltending by the freshman Nico Amato.
Well, John Tillman, a sigh of relief. And Paul, how big a win is this for Maryland? What do you think this can do for them as we head down the stretch of this regular season?
Well, last week, they neglected to really capitalize and meet any type of run that North Carolina threw at them. This week, they responded. Their backs were against the wall. They created their runs, and they did it all over the field. Great coaching job.
Once again, our final score from Scott Stadium here in Charlottesville. Maryland 12 and Virginia 7. For Paul Carcaterra and our entire ESPNU crew, I'm Rob Sittlecare. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Maryland, their first ACC win of the year. Coming up, college softball or Auburn and Tennessee. For our whole crew here in Charlottesville, I'm Rob Sittlecare. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, full day of college lacrosse on ESPNU tomorrow. So long.